Welcome to part 2 of the barra build. In this video we will be disassembling the head. So this is our specialty box of all the tools we will be using. It has these two specialty pliers to help remove the valve stem seals, so you'll see that in the next video. And then this here, this is going to help us remove the keepers. So there's two options to remove the valve springs. There is this option. This connects to a lever bar that bolts to the head. It is a bit more of a pain to do, so we'll be using the second option. But basically this bit here bolts to the head, has a long bar across, bolts to the other head, and then use this and the tool up there to get some leverage on it. Compress the spring, take the keepers out, and then you can go that way. The way that we're doing it is a bit easier, and you'll see that soon. We'll be upgrading the valve springs with these Crow cam springs. These are 32 psi capable springs, and they're beehive springs, so they are a slightly better design than the factory springs that came from Ford. So the head is elevated on these two Haltech boxes, so we can access the valves on the underside. Not sponsored. So this right here is the second tool I was talking about that we would use. So it's a manual wind tool rather than a leverage tool. So right now it's compressed on the valve spring here, and then on the underside it is flat seated on the valve face. So basically you wind it down, compress the spring, make sure this is lined up on this side. If we get under there you go. So on the valve face, and basically you crank it down until you can access the keepers. Grab a magnet, pull the keepers out, and then slowly unwind it again and release the spring. So I personally tried both tools, and the valve spring compressor tool, so the first one I showed you, seems to work great if you have an actual engine bench and a sturdy place for your head, or done within a car. So this is why we chose to do it with this tool, for the removal and the rebuilding of the head. So here on the bench we have the valve, the keepers, the spring, and the retainer. And if we go back to the block, we've got the old valve stem seals in here, so these will also be getting replaced in the next video. So did that method 24 times to get the intake and exhaust side out of all the valves. So now the head is stripped, aside from the valve stem seals. And having a look at the head here, you can see on the intake side there is a much larger connection, like a mating surface, whereas on the exhaust side there is not as large of a surface, which is interesting. And the exhaust side seems to be a bit more recessed compared to the intake side. But of course you can also clearly see that the intake valves are much larger than the exhaust valves. And here are the two springs side by side. So on the left we have the new Crocam springs, and then on the right we have the old Ford springs, which will be getting thrown out, but it's interesting to see the comparison here in the sizes and design. But yes, that is the head fully stripped, so I'll see you for the next video where I put it back together.